All right, so welcome back. So you have been tasked to create a very small network that is made of two servers, server A and server D, and a PCA. Server A will be your domain controller, and server D will be your member server, and PCA will be client. You could see the IP address over here in settings, and for each server and each workstations. So what I have done so far, I have created the server A, and I've also did the PCA, and I did a server D, and I uploaded videos on how to configure. As a matter of fact, the video that I have uploaded so far, it's video number 2. It's already on YouTube, which is the part 2, installing and configuring Active Directory. Video number 3, which is Server 2012 Lab Demo Part 3, which is adding roles and features to member servers, and video 4, which is adding Windows 10 to Active Directory and accessing network resources. I have done this too yesterday, but for some reason it got corrupted. So that's what I'm doing right now. This recording is just to go over what we need to do before we can really install the virtualization software that I'm going to use. I'm going to use VirtualBox, and I'm going to use a VirtualBox. All right, you can see it right here. The link to get the VirtualBox is right here. I will also upload this note for whoever needs it. All right, and in order to get Windows 10, a trial version of Windows 10, and also a trial version of Server 2012, we're using the R2, is very important, and we're using the Enterprise for 64 because not every server or every workstation that Microsoft designed are designed to work in a network, or especially in our assignment, right here. So without further ado, this is what we're gonna do. I have already done this part, and I have uploaded them, and the reason why I'm going backward, because this video got corrupted for whatever reason, and I have to redo it again. So now, how do we create this environment? So I'll go ahead. How do we create this environment? So to demo, I'm going to do server D. The way you do server D, create a machine and install the operating system, is really the same way you do server A, and they're really the same way you do PCA. There's really no difference. Also, without further ado, I am going to go ahead and start the VirtualBox. I'll bring the VirtualBox, okay, right here. And like I told you, I already have server A. I really just deleted server D. So I have server A and server and PCA. Now let's go ahead and create server D. The first thing you want to do, you want to go to New, all right, and we're going to call this machine. We're going to call it server. We're going to call it server D. Obviously, automatically, this is where it go by default. But I don't have enough space on my Mac, so I'm going to send it to an external hard drive instead. I'll click here, choose others. I highly advise you guys to do the same, especially if those of you are in school and you'll be going for school on home. This way you can take your virtual machine with you wherever you go. I highly advise that you do so. All right, so this is where it's going to go. I do have PCA server A, as you see. We'll hit open over here. That will be the destination, and of course you can see the operating system is Windows 10, but that's not what we're trying to configure. We're trying to configure Windows 10, so we're going to go into 10, and I'm sorry, server 2012, and we're going to make it at 64-bit. That's what you want, a 64 bits. All right, we're going to hit continue over here. At the default memory size, like I said before, it's 2048. If you have enough RAM, should be no problem. But if you don't, you may want to lower this to a gig. As a matter of fact, to a gig 1024. As a matter of fact, you can load it even to less than that, to 512. The only price, it'll be a little slow, but it's better in case you don't have enough memory for machines. I'll hit continue over here. All right, create the virtual machine. All right, we're going to keep the VDI as a default. All right, dynamically increase as needed. And here, it again is a lot. This says now it's telling you this is how much space server D will take in your hard drive. This is a lot of space. I don't probably have it, and you may not have it neither, especially if you're doing a lot of machines. So I advise you to lower it to a 20. You can even do 15 if you want. I think you can even do in 10 if you want. But you can, if you need more space, you can increase the size if you want. So we're going to go ahead and hit create right here. All right, the next only thing that I'm going to do, remember this is a server D, and if you remember from our assignment, I'm going to bring the assignment, they have asked us, I'll go down here in the assignment, they said that server D, all right, virtual server D will have five extra hard drive for server D. And the reason why we do this, because server D will be a member server, and we're gonna use it for RAID. All right, so before we do that, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna go back to server D. I'm gonna do a couple things. I'm gonna go into settings. One thing that I highly encourage you to do to speed up the process a little bit, you may have multiple processors in your machine, all right? And by default, it's taking just one. You may want to speed it up to 2, or however your machine can handle. So I'm going to do that. Next thing was, once I hit that, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm highlighting the server D. I'll go to settings. Now I'm going to go into go to settings, and I'm going to go into storages, and I want to add those hard drives. Remember, they're 5, right? So we're gonna go here and we click add in a second. Okay, I'm going to hit add here. Choose an existing or a new. We're creating a new disk. All right, it's a VDI. Hit next. It's dynamic disk, and this is the name. Watch, the name is 1. That's what we're going to take. Look at the size. This is a lot. We don't have this. So what I'm gonna do, here, I am just gonna go ahead and make just 1 gig, specify just a gig, hit create. All right, and hit OK. And I'm gonna do it again because I need 5 of them. So here we go. Create a new one. I may go a little bit quick now since you already know the process. It's using the same name. We don't want the same name. We already have that. And it's using 50 gig. We just want 1 gig. Hit create. Do it again. Okay, create another. I'm gonna create just 3 for the sake of time. All right, create new. Continue. Next. Again, it's taking number 1. Be careful of that. This is gonna be number 3. And again, I'm gonna make it only 1 gig over here. Hit create. Hit OK. So as it is, you can see that server D is we have created a virtual machine for server D that has the amount of RAM that we want, that has enough hard drive disk that we want. Okay, and now we're going to start the installation process. Now we can specify where is the ISO for server 2012 that we need to install, or we can wait. Start the machine, and then the machine will ask you. I'm going to do that. I'll let the machine ask me. So I'll go ahead, start. All right. As you can see, the installation is starting, and it's not finding where to boot from. All right. So sometimes it asks you where is it. So I'm going to go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it off. By the way, there are a couple of ways of doing this. I'm going to go back into settings. All right, I'm gonna go back in settings, and then go into settings, go storages, and find one. What I'm gonna do, I was saying that we'll highlight the server D, go to settings, okay, and after that we're gonna go into storages, and I'm gonna select my hard drive. The reason why I couldn't find it because it's not attached to it. Click on an empty. And I'll go down here and point out to where I have the ISO. Click on the icon over here, choose a virtual optical disk drive, and here you want to point out to the ISO, to the server 2012 R2 ISO that we downloaded from Microsoft. So we'll go ahead and hit open, and hit OK. Make sure it is plugged in. All right, plugged in, hit OK. All right, and I'm going to start the installation, and hopefully it sees it now, and it will ask me to start the installation. It did. As you can see, it started. All right, so the installation is going to start. I am not going to walk you through the entire process. It's really just next. I'm just going to show you probably the first a few decisions that are crucial to make during the installation of any Windows machine. The first installation, we're going to hit next. We're going to hit install. All right. I want to show you especially the what it called the hard drive selection and the partition and the type of the operating system. As you can see, there are multiple servers here, and the one that you want is the last one all the way down, Windows Server R2 Data Center with graphical user interface. Because if you choose this one, what's going to happen, this one is just a core and it does not have the graphical user interface, and you're just learning this. Not that it'll be a little bit difficult for you. However, once you learn, and you can definitely use that, and you can RDP to it from anywhere and do what you need to do. But for now, let's simplicity. All right, we're gonna hit next over here. Hit agree on the installation, and you have upgrade. You don't have, this is only if you have an existing operating system such as Server 2008. We don't have any, or 2003 if you want. So I want to go ahead and custom the installation, and it shows you all the drives that we have. This we're not going to use because this is the one we're going to use for our RAID. So the one we want is the 20 gig hard drive space. That's what we want. So we're going to hit next. And as soon as the installation starts right now, I will pause the video and I will come back when it's done, because the rest of it will just wait. All right, once the installation finishes, your server will restart, and the first question you'll be asked is to set up a password. Right? For simplicity, I'm going to set up password @123, something that we can change later, just to log in. All right, and we're going to hit finish. Now we are finalizing. Server 23 is up and is running, and you can log into it and configure it, change the date, change the time, change the IP addresses, change the computer name, and have it join the domain that you created in Server A. So at this time, we're done with step one, which is we created a virtual machine. We set up the required number of hard drive. We changed the number of CPUs. We changed the amount of RAM, and we attached the ISO, and we installed the operating system. The operating system is up and is running. And right now, if you want to log in, you go to Input, Keyboard, and you hit Alt Control Delete, and you can log in now. You'll be able to log in now locally to this machine. I will show you the drives where they are. The 3 hard drives that we have added. All right. However, configure them or doing anything else to them, we have left that to to video number 3. I'm sorry, to video number 2, I guess. So we're gonna right click here. We go to disk management. Again, I'm not gonna change anything. As soon as you click here, as you can see in the back, your computer, all right, you're gonna see the 3 drives that we have created are here. So we're gonna initiate them, we're gonna start them, and we're gonna create whatever type of RAID we needed. So we're done with the installation of Server 2012. Now, what's the difference between, this is Server D. What's the difference between installing Server D and Server A? Absolutely no difference. What's the difference between installing Server A, Server D, and Windows 10? Absolutely no differences. The only thing, since Windows 10 is a workstation, it has a lot of extra other features packed in it. You may find yourself going through a process and answering, enabling, or disabling some feature that you don't need. All right. We are done with the installation of a server and operating system. Now we're going to move on into next stage of the installations. See you in the next video.